All right, hello, and welcome to this climate update. It is about a little bit after 9 o'clock on August 15, 2019, and we're going to talk about certain things going on in the climate, including an article that New Jersey, it's not your imagination, New Jersey is warming faster than every state in this country regarding the changing climate. So we're just taking a look around the northern hemisphere right now, and we're going to look at the southern hemisphere too as well. Just looking at some of the storms and seeing if how the smoke situation is there in Russia, and unfortunately, it's still a huge problem with these fires that are continuing just out of control. A lot of these are peat fires, and they might not die down until maybe even the winter time. They may not die down until like November. So we'll just track this here, looking at this. We're going through August 14th, 13th, 12th. This is August 11th. This area is this is August 10th. Look at August 9th, August 8th, August 7th, August 6th. So you get the idea. But this isn't the only area of the world that's been experiencing a lot of wildfires. If we go and we look further down into Africa, now we're going to go into the southern hemisphere. You'll notice that there's a lot of smoke over there too, because apparently there are a lot of wildfires there too. That's not getting as much press, but the southern hemisphere is also seeing a lot of these fires. The 12th is August 11th. It was a little more pronounced as we had earlier in the month. You could see the smoke clearly. You can see the smoke, and look at the smoke. It's actually drifting down toward Antarctica. You got to remember it's winter in the southern hemisphere. There's the 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. So they're dealing with it in the southern hemisphere too, and I noticed also over South America, it looks like there are fires burning in the Amazon. This is from August 5th. Look at all these wildfires. Now I know a lot of these are illegally set by people illegally clearing the land. This is a rainforest, and it should be being protected. But there's a lot of illegal activity in there, and it really should be protected. But unfortunately, the governments in these areas, a lot of them are overrun with militants and corrupt, and they don't want to enforce the rules. And at this point, when it comes to people setting fires in the Amazon, they need to send the military in. You know what I mean? And get these people in jail, because you shouldn't be setting fires in the rainforest. Rainforest is the lungs of our planet. So you can see, look at all these fires going on in the Amazon. So it's like the whole world is on fire. Like the whole world, even the sun. Look at all the smoke. Nobody's talking about this, but I've been noticing this when I've been looking at the high-resolution satellite. All these wildfires, they're just happening all over the globe. So it's crazy. So I want to read to you this article now about New Jersey. So it says 2 Celsius beyond the limit. So New Jersey's temperatures. It says right here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Well, I'll read most of it because I'm gonna read a good part of it. All right, because people need to know what's going on. So New Jersey's average temperatures have risen nearly 2 degrees Celsius since 1895. Double the average for the lower 48 states. So that is 4 degrees Fahrenheit since 1895 in New Jersey. That's double the average for most places in the country. So it says here, before climate change thawed the winters of New Jersey, this lake hosted boisterous wintertime carnivals. As many as 15,000 skaters took part, and automobile orders would drive onto the thick ice. Thousands watched local hockey clubs battle each other, and the State Sailing Association of America held competitions, including one in 1896 that featured 21 ice boats on blades. In those days before widespread refrigeration, workers flocked here to harvest the ice. And this is talking about ice harvesting. And they're saying these winters don't exist anymore. That's because a century of climbing temperatures has changed the character of the Garden State. The massive ice industry and Skate Sailing Association are but black and white photographs at the local museum. And it's actually quite similar to some of the lakes here on Long Island, too. But it is one of the fastest growing. Here we go. Here is the proof right here. New Jersey may seem like an unlikely place to measure climate change, but it is one of the fastest warming states in the nation. So that's what's happening. These are some of the pictures here of what they used to do in New Jersey. Okay, so I'm not going to show you everything. Please read the article yourself. But I'm glad the Washington Post reported on this. This is a map right here, and I think it's, let's see, it's supposed to show. You can see the air. New Jersey is one of the fastest warming areas. Not sure what this map. This is supposed to be some kind of map. I'm trying to zoom it in, but this is what's going on. So it probably just doesn't want to work right in my computer. But this is what's going on. It's not your imagination. New Jersey's hot as hell, and it's getting worse. And that's why I'm not gonna. I don't want to ever go there because I can't survive that kind of heat. You know, I was there the other day and I felt like I was gonna faint. That doesn't happen to me on Long Island. It's just so hot there. It's so hot there and it's so humid there. And you know, I mean, it's unless you have to be somebody who can stand the heat to live in New Jersey. And I'm one of those people who can't stand the heat. I've been heat intolerant my whole life, so surviving there is completely out of the question. You know, there are some people that may want to purge us there. All I could say is maybe we should take them, those people who want to purge us over to New Jersey, take them, put them in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River on a really hot, humid day, give them no water, and force them to walk 10 miles and see how they like it. That's the way I feel. Anyway, we'll look at earthnullschool.net. Again, please read that article. The link is in the description below. But let's look at earthnullschool.net here. These are the temperatures across the world right now. So we're looking at the surface temperatures. And across, you can see a lot of heat across the country. Luckily, the Northeast is getting a break, but even in the Midwest and even the Southwest, it's been hot. Even in Flagstaff, it's been in the upper 80s, obviously with no humidity, but still, it's been hot. Hotter than it's supposed to be. Fortunately, it looks like Europe is not hot right now, so it looks like they have a break from the heat waves. They're at 15.2 Celsius. Which is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's in Europe. Fortunately, it's not. I believe it is night there, though. But you still have this heat in Siberia, and hopefully, I see it looks like there's some more troughs developing. So we're going to look at our jet streams and see. At our jet streams. We should go right here. We'll look at our jet streams. We got to change. Got to go to wind, though. Got to go to wind. There we go. Let's look at our jet streams here. So let's see, we still have these wavy jet streams. And this, again, is all due to climate change. You could see these wavy. Luckily, there's more of a trough over Europe, so that's why you could see there's more of a trough. So they're not getting that hot air from the Sahara. But you can see there's a ridge that's bringing that hot air from the Sahara into Russia. And then there's another deep trough over here, which may be helping bring some rain to where those wildfires are. And then as you go into Asia, another ridge, and then another huge trough. You can see this jet stream's just all kinked up. It's still a mess. You have this crazy-looking trough off the northwest coast here. But fortunately, over the United States, jet stream looks a little more normal. There's not so much waviness, fortunately for us right now. We look at the southern hemisphere. You see this waviness disease is over the southern hemisphere, too. Maybe not as bad as the northern hemisphere, but you can see we also have crazy wavy and ridges, these big ridges that develop across the area. So it's a little different the way the jet stream works there. I'm not as familiar with it, but I'm just showing it to you. It still looks kind of messy and disorganized to me. So last part of this video, we're going to see where these fires are burning, and we're going to go and look at the particles in the air, the smoke part. Well, first start with the dust. So you can see these waves of dust that are coming off Africa, these dusts off the Sahara here. This dust actually helps to inhibit, it's kind of a good thing because it inhibits the hurricane formation. But we're seeing more of this dust because climate change has made this area drier and thus more dust gets into the air. But we'll also look at the particles as well here as well. So we'll look at PM1. So use the smaller particles. This kind of shows you where the smoke is. And luckily, the smoke hasn't been too bad over the United States. There's still some around, but it's not too bad. But you can still see there's some fires over here, and over here some small fires. But by and large, it's Russia. This is where you see a lot more smoke over here. You can see, you can look at it all over here. And also over Africa. There's a lot of fires over Africa, too, that are burning here. And South America as well. Actually, it looks like South America is really starting to become a hotspot. And this is rainforest. This is very disturbing. But anyway, this is what's happening with our climate. The last thing that we're going to talk about is the ice, of course. This site says here, at mid-month, Arctic sea ice extent is tracking close to the 2012 low, the year with the lowest minimum sea ice in the satellite record. Sea ice volume is also tracking at low volumes. Smoke from Siberian wildfires continues to cover much of the Pacific side of the Arctic Ocean, but as solar input declines this late in the melt season, it is unlikely to impact sea laws. They're still basically saying they don't think that we're going to go below that minimum, but here's the chart. We're very close to that right now, that minimum, but I still think we could go below it. We're very close because this is what the sea ice looks like now. The only areas of there's very little areas of thick sea ice. So I still think we're going to come close to breaking the 2012 minimum this year, despite that fact that they don't seem to think so. I think that the president told them to say that because obviously Trump doesn't believe that we are in a climate crisis. But the evidence is all around us. So that does wrap up this climate update. Thank you for watching and have a good night.